camera should be able to hear me and see what's going on. Alright, so let's get into super basics for Unreal Engine and how to take blockouts and put them in Unreal Engine. So we're primarily just going to use Maya and Unreal Engine. So let's get started. So first of all, let's open Unreal. Now when you open Unreal, you need to get yourself to this window. So make sure you have it installed and everything. All of them on the Unity computers, I've just double-clicked on your engine, and this pops up. So if you're opening it up for the first time on that computer, it's only going to give this message. So we're using it for games. Next, and you got to choose the kind you want to make. So I would like all of you to kind of think about what perspective your game is from, and I think the main ones you should figure out. You should choose first person, third person, or top down. I don't think you need puzzle or rolling or a flying one for that matter. Although a flying one sounds interesting. I've never tried that one. It sounds fun. But anyway, top down, third person, or first person. I'm going to use a third person actually because I want to show you guys some stuff. And don't blank for now. Pick one of these and anyway, let's click it, go next. You want to use blueprint, you want maximum quality, ray tracing should be disabled. We don't really need starter content, simple placeholder meshes, baking material textures, yeah, starter content, we can add it later. So no starter content, that's going to start up quicker and on the desktop. Choose what we're going to say, it's going to say a use thing, we're going to call this demo project. You can't have spaces. Project. And now it's gonna make it. Alright, great. So that's just gonna go through initialize. And actually it's doing it quite quick, so I'm not gonna go back to mine until this is done. Beautiful. Alright. Unreal Engine. What is Unreal Engine? I'm taking off my coat because this is getting intense. Alright, so first things first, what the hell are these windows? So the easiest thing to see in Unreal Engine is your main window in the middle here. So before we do anything else, I'm just going to explain this viewport. So this is your 3D viewport where you can see everything. You're going to get confused for the first little while of using this because it is different to Maya, right? So you're going to get confused with all the hotkeys and stuff, but just bear with me, okay? So you have your cursor here. You can click on and drag to move. Don't do this. This is not something you want to do. But you can click on objects as well to select them, and you can press escape to deselect. And you can select any of the objects in this 3D viewport. Now, if you want to look around, you need to hold right click and then just move the camera around. And you might be wondering, how do I know where I want? What if I want to pan? So I recommend not panning. Some of your lectures might be panning. Someone likes pan, as I know. I believe you can pan with the middle mouse button. If you just press that, you can just pan and drag it in that. I prefer to just hold the click for looking around, then use WASD to 5 and Q and E on your keyboard go down as well. So this is what I prefer to do. If you've ever played Gary's mod, it's kind of like this is kind of the controls we're doing and stuff like that. While you're flying around like this, I still have right click pressed. That's still only pressed. While you're doing this, you can actually drag your mouse wheel up and down to slow down or speed up, right? And if you want an additional control of that, I have this little camera thing here that you can adjust the speed. Anyway, this is a 3D viewport. You can fly around and you can select stuff. You can move stuff and you can press W, E, R for all the moving options like in Maya, and there's no Q. Q doesn't do anything. You can control Z as well. You can control Y for redo like before, and all that stuff. Okay, so what else is here? So you notice on the side here, you got all this confusing nonsense, right? So at the top here, you have your world outliner, and this is kind of like your outliner at Maya. It just shows everything that's in the scene, right? So it shows all the different objects. It shows like the little different kinds of gameplay objects, which we're going to go into another time, and all that. And every time you select something, this details panel down here shows you the details for that object, right? So it shows you like transformations. Let's give you just a little more space here. Let me just check this is working. Yes, it's recording. Yes, good. So you have your what you like. You have transformations. You have some, a lot of kind of game related and kind of engine related options here. But the main thing you want to notice is that you have for transformations here. We're going to go through what all this stuff means as we get to it. Now you don't really need to worry about any of it. You just need to worry about the fact that you have details of every object you select here. Down below, on here, it's kind of like in Unity. Actually, you probably recognize the layout from Unity anyway. So at the bottom here is kind of all your objects. Just like in Unity, you have a list. You can pull this out. It's a list of all your folders of the project, and you can open the folder, click, with the side, you can right click the folder, etc., etc. So that's what this is down here below, just like Unity. And then on the side here, this is a kind of an actor's window where you can put in stuff, right? You can just throw basic stuff. You can throw in some basic shapes. You can throw in some like gameplay object. We get lighting. You have your lights here. We need cinematics. Have your cameras here. And some visual effects. All this is here. So if you remember in Unity, you have pretty much all your things in your scene, your outliner is here, and you right-click to add stuff, whereas now it's over here, and you have this whole window for adding stuff over here. If you do remember and prefer the Unity style, again, just drag your outliner, stick it on the side here, and you just have them as two separate windows. You have all your stuff. This is not how it works in Unity, but I'm used to it being separate, so I'm not going to do that. It really doesn't make too much of a difference. Here at the top, you have your saving and your play, kind of like Unity as well, and you have, basic file save stuff over there. Now, make sure you do save current, make sure you do file save all. It's going to be saving all the changes, make that, everything in the folder, and all of that. So, let's carry on. If you want to playtest your level, because we did start with a basic level, so you can playtest, you click play. It's going to throw you in here, and you just got to click, and now you have this little guy to walk around and do all that fun stuff. So, this is your introduction to how to use Unreal once you open it up, and all of that stuff. So, just press escape. Wonderful. And now we're out. Little tips. If you press G, it's going to make all of the extra gunk in UI disappear. So if that happens to you, don't panic. Just press the letter G for Godzilla. Again. And if you press F11, it's going to full screen. Press F11, it's back. Alright, so back to your blockouts. This is a very poor attempt on my side to replicate what kind of blockouts some of you might have. It's very simplistic, but that's all we need right now, because I just want to explain to you guys what this is. So, for example, I'm making a little cafe, and I have blockouts. Maybe I've been organized, maybe not. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify all the unique assets in my blockout, if you have not done that already. So, how I'm going to do that, I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to go here, all the ones that are the same of one kind of asset. So these are like coffee tables. I'm going to go up here and there's this little arrow next to the design in thing. And that opens this confusing thing about location, right? So just click that little square, whatever it is, and change that to rename. And that's going to give you a whole text box. And now with all of these selected, put coffee table. And actually I'm going to put, I'm just going to put coffee table. Okay, and now you see on the side here, it's renamed all of those coffee tables. I can group it, and actually I'm not going to group it right now. Select all of these, and rename these to stool. And then select these ones I forgot to merge, combine rather, the demo, okay. Edit, delete, all by type street. And these two I'm just going to call plant. So the wall, all that's left is the floors and walls. So you can see that this is made up of like this repeatable tile. I'm going to put this as floor, tile, a bit of a rectangular tile, and I'll make sure they're all in a line together. And then the walls as well. All of these walls are repeated. And I'm just going to rename them as wall A. Make sure they're all together. And then we're going to click this, and this is going to be door. One, I don't really name it there. And this is going to be like wall extension, fireplace, whatever that is. Okay, so now we've got all this. This is our diorama, okay? or our blockout rather. Blockout. And now we want to create a new group called Control G to make an empty group. We call this blockout assets. Right, so now we want to take one of each of these, so probably the ones that aren't don't have a number on them. So we're gonna take coffee table, floor tile, plant, stool, door, wall A, and do we take floor tile? Yeah. So this is one of each. Actually, we've done wall extension as well. This is one of every unique asset we have in the scene. I'm going to duplicate them and press P to take them out of this group, and now I can hide blockout and only they are to the left. Now I see that I have a number here, so get rid of that. Oh yeah, they're going to have numbers because I duplicate them. Yeah, beautiful. And all of these are unique assets. I need to make sure that all of their pivot points are in the right place for placing. You guys work in Unity and some of you in Unreal last semester, so you should know exactly what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to place them in the center of the world as well. Leave that there, leave that there. This, make sure it's at the corner. And this is there as well. And I can grab them all. Since those pivot points are in the right place, I can hold X. Just drag them all to the middle of the world. Delete all by type history. Modify freeze transformations, and we'll leave the pivot. Okay, so now we have this list of assets. These lists of blockout assets here. I'm just going to do a quick save on the desktop for me because then we'll just put them in as. Okay, so we have our blockout assets separated from the blockout that we arranged in Maya that I saw a lot of you have done. And now we need to export all of these for Unreal. And the way I do that is the same as I do it for Unity. I select the assets I want, I take them on the group, I go to File, Game Export, and what I do here, it's auto default. I want to export only the selection. Environment, great, skinning and blend shapes, settings, we want to export the multiple files, and the rest should be okay. And we're going to put it again on the desktop. I'm going to make a little demo as folder. Choose that, and the prefix is going to be blockout, sure, underscore. Export everything, done. Now minimize this, yeah, for now. So demo as. And in my see we have blockout everything now. So I'm going to select all of this, drag it over to Unreal, and I'm just going to actually, for good practice, I'm going to go into Content, New Folder, Assets, very organized. And then we're going to go to Desktop and just drag this right here. And that's going to bring up a window which we need to check. So first of all, we check the mesh. We're going to generate collisions by default. Okay, remove generate. Generate my. We don't need to change any of this. We're not combining anything. Leave it as default. That should all be fine. So import all. And now it's imported all of them. And it's given them a default material as well. We're not going to go into materials just yet. We're just doing blockouts. And I want to get rid of all of this stuff because we don't need it. So if you just turn off the eye, that's not going to change anything. So it's not just about the eye. You need to actually disable it or delete it. I don't want to go through each one, disable it one by one right now, so I'm just going to delete it because I want it out of my life. So fun thing. Notice that when you delete a group, it doesn't delete everything that's inside the group. So I still have all of this stuff here. Now what is the walkway? What's this? Oh, yeah, so you notice I still have all of this stuff. So you need to actually right-click folder and find leads, which I don't remember where it is. I guess select all descendants. Everything, then you can go delete, and I'm going to delete everything. Same with arena, I'm going to select descendants, delete, and then I'll just delete this mesh and this cube. And then, oh, this is going to be fun. I need to fix my scale of my block. This is what happens if you have the wrong scale. So I'm going to grab the block out for tile, just drag that in, and you can see that when my scale is wrong, everything is wrong, right? Clearly that's not correct. I'm going to select all these guys that I just imported, and I need to change the scale factor. So asset actions or solution. I'm going to grab all these, and you see that they're not right scale. So I'm going to put them back in block assets, and I'm going to make them 100 times bigger, which is, as you can see, significantly larger. And then I'm going to, again, freeze the transformations of all of these. Now I'm going to export them, Shift P. And just before anything, I'm going to draw like one of a few little assets. You can see how big they are. Right? And I'm going to go back to my number right side, select them all, file, game exporter, everything's already set. Export, yes, overwrite. Excellent, the export was successful. And now what I can do is literally just overwrote these things that I just imported. It's overwritten the same file that I imported. I can just select all of these, right click, and do re-import. And the right size, yay! Because I didn't calculate the size. So basically, as you can see, Jesus, that's large. That's large. Please. No, it's not the right size. Interesting. I didn't calculate the size, guys. You can tell that. I know. One more time. This is why you check out the size of your block out, right? But this was meant to be quick. It was meant to have all these issues. Let's do this quickly. And one lap re-import, and I'll just carry on regardless of the scale. That's not what I'm trying to show you guys. But this is a thing I can do. They can just resave the asset that you imported and just export, and just re-import it in here. Now they're roughly the right size, so I'm going to just delete these now. So I'm going to bring them again. Now essentially what you can do is you can bring in your files and rebuild the scene which you were making. So we're going to bring it in, make sure it's like on the floor and location. Oh, not Y, it's the Z. In Unreal, Z is the floor, right? We can just rebuild it by hand. So I can make one. Control W is duplicate in Unreal. It's not Control V. Control V doesn't do anything. I think if you hold V or Z, which one was it? It was one of the buttons. And I can't remember which one it was. V. So if you hold V, you can snap your model to vertices. So I'm going to grab the little, let's slow down my camera a little, the little thingy, hold V, and it can snap to anything I drag it to. So essentially, I don't really need to explain the rest of it too much. You can just drag from your theme and set it up. I'll just say OS. you're going to see instead of by hand in Unreal, bonus points of the scale, please. Let me just pull all of this, drag that, V it, snap it, beautiful. Right, so that's why I put the pivot point on these in the corners. You can snap them and just grab all of this. You can see that it's a little bit less organized than Unity because you need to essentially create a folder here. Create a new folder. Yeah, create a new folder. We'll just call it blocks. Let's turn off your caps lock. Just drag all of that stuff in there. So now we're in this folder. Blah blah blah. And by default, I believe it should have collisions display. Yep. So now I'm in here, and I'm a giant. Or this is just a very tiny coffee place. And you can stick your stuff in here. Alright, so that's the main thing about putting your assets in Unreal. I just want to show you one last detail, which is going to explain to you something that I've kind of been explaining all week, but not in the best way. A really cool feature, and that's that if I, for example, take all of this and put it back inside this group. So let's say that I grab the spool, get that Shift P so it's outside of the blockout group. Focus on that more. We got this tool, right? So I'm just going to essentially just completely make it smaller, completely like grab this, just put it down, make another piece. Pop. Put it down here. Put it on here. Actually, it's a stool, isn't it? It's not a table, so you can do something like that. We can even like move this. Actually, do something like this. I'm being really quick, you guys. So this is not proper. No proper in it. Grab it. Edit. Type history. Mesh. Combine. Delete the history once more. Alright, so I'm just going to call stool. So I'm going to put in a group. Suppose low poly underscore assets. And this is, make sure actually it's in the center. Beautiful. Alright, so this is essentially a stool. So actually made a keyframe. So this is a stool that I modeled, and the only difference between that and the other one is, or rather similarity between this and the little blowout, is that the pivot point is the same place. They're pretty much the same size, and I called it stool, but that's not an essential point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this one file, export selection, go to FBX because that's what we're exporting everything as, and I'm going to find the stool file that I have here. So it's this one. Make sure that I have the right settings. 1 and 3. You don't need that one. We don't need the other ones. And we don't have an animation for that. Alright, so let's re-export it on top of that blockout stool, right? So now I go right here. If I find the file that's for the stool, blockout stool, because Unreal Engine knows which file in the computer I'm using for the asset, when I replace that file in my computer, re-importing it in Unreal, changes it and replaces everything with that file. And that means that I can actually make my block out, model all my assets, and then if I want to, because this isn't essential, it's just a little technique that's useful sometimes, you re-import it and everything's going to be in place. But of course, the block out stage is so that you can essentially arrange everything, check it's the right size, make changes in the block out very easily, and do the detailing after you've set it all up. Now, this is it for now. I just want you guys to be able to get up to this stage. You don't have to do any kind of replacing or anything. I just wanted you to understand that. I want to make sure you guys get how a very cool feature of Unreal works. I want you guys to be able to put all your blockouts in Unreal, prep them, scale them the right way, and make sure you have as much of your asset list as you can. I know you probably won't have all of it, but as much as you can, so you can start building your scenes in Unreal. Next week 3, Sori is going to be going through some material stuff. moving on quickly from modeling, because you gotta know how to model. Or he's gonna show you some material stuff in Unreal, just the basics and the rest. And I'm gonna show you some other small introductory things to Unreal, and I'm also going to maybe start going through lighting, because we can finish our lighting before we've even done our details, before we've even done our textures. We can do a little bit of lighting work before all that. So next week we're going to be doing a little bit of materials and a little bit of Unreal Basics and a little bit of Unreal Lighting. Okay, hope that was good. 25 minutes, didn't need to take a break. I'm gonna drink some water. See you guys for the next one.